What's up, everyone? It's Dave again, Black Label Painting, back again to do some more work on the Custodes Knight. Now, tonight, I will be doing some red on this dude right here, because I decided to go ahead and paint the missile rack red. I'll be doing red. I'll be doing heat transfer on the barrels and tops of these stacks. I was going to do it with some like washes or ghost tints, but it didn't turn out the way I liked it, so I'll just default back to the way I always do it. No sense in trying to be all fancy and shit and cause myself a whole bunch of extra work. Yeah, good evening. Thanks for joining. So, he's cruising along pretty good here now. Got a nice steady pace. I've sealed the whole model now. I went ahead and sealed everything with dull coat. I'll bring these back up to the gloss red, but I put them with dull coat just to seal in the decals and add a little bit of extra protection. But those are all ready to go, rip-roaring ready to go. Well, I'll do a little more work on them, but we'll A-okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and jump in with doing my heat transfer. I'm going to move the model so I don't worry about overspray. Do heat transfer how I do it. Now, when I say heat transfer, I'm referring to the burnt effect, how it fades out and it looks burnt. So we'll do that first. Do it on the gun barrel. So that'll be the easiest. Clean out the old Badger. A little funky. Bring the music back up. I haven't really, I mean, I use, when it comes to cleaning out my airbrush, I mainly rely on just simple water. And if I've got some crud in there, like maybe I left a little bit of paint in it or whatever, I will use just alcohol, straight isopropyl alcohol. Now, I do not recommend spraying that. I'm atomizing alcohol and breathing it in. That's not something you want to do. But alcohol will just eat the paint out of your airbrush fast. But I only do that whenever I get a little bit of a gum up like I got going on right Oh, it takes a couple seconds. A little bit of alcohol on a brush. Good to go. And then run a bunch of water through it. And we are set to jet at that point. Now I'm going to use Minotaur Air for my heat transfer. The one thing that people complain about Minotaur Air paints is that it's super thin. Well, in this case, it actually works to our advantage because when you're spraying the heat transfer effect over metallics, you want it to be thin, that way to be a little transparent. Jason, what a dick. All right. Now, the colors that I use from Minotaur Air is I'll start off with a copper coin. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, copper coin. I'll start off with copper coin. Then I'll come in and lightly dust back with some purple. And then I will finish off the tips with Lagoon Blue. Again, you don't have to use this brand of paint whenever you do it. I just like it because it's thin. It's super thin paint for what I'm going to be doing. But you can use any combination of. You just want to put a copper down first, and then with a blue or violet, or excuse me, purple or a violet, and then finish off with blue. You can come back over the ends of it with like a really nice dusting of black, which will give it that burnt, sooty look at the end. But I started skipping doing that. I just do the simple copper, purple, blue on all my heat transfer. So we will roll into that, get that going. I'll bring this down a little bit so you get a little bit better look at how I do this. Okay. So you'll notice I'll spray about, from the tip of the piece, I'll spray about midway back. Now I'm going to progressively lay down my colors, but I'm going to go halfway back with the purple, and then halfway back again on the purple with the blue, if that makes sense. No, I'm not giving up on Twitch. Just right now, I find that this is a much easier platform. But I am going to jump back on Twitch. That's all part of my revamping of how I do things in my output of content. I'm actually working on a new label and rebranding my label, I guess you could say. And then I'll be redoing some stuff with Twitch on that as well. So Twitch is still coming. Still going to be on Twitch. Just play it safe. because overspray can be a pain in the ass. Do a little taping. I already glued this on like a dumbass. It happens. We all have our moments. I use this green frog tape. You get it like Home Depot and Lowe's. I like this shit. It's really good. It's low tack, so you don't risk ripping paint up whenever you take it off. So it's good stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's what I use right there. It's expensive, but it's worth it. Anything that's expensive usually is worth it. Turn down my mic, is it too loud? Sorry about that. Try to talk over my music. Mic's like right up in my nose. Alright, so back to what I was doing. Same principle. I went a little too fast on me, but hey, that's still usable. Not that big of a deal. Whew, come out a little fast again. Good Lord. Where's my trigger control at tonight? There, we got that down. Now we're ready to move on to the next color. Clean that color out. Whoa. Dropping things. How's the mic now, Adam? Is it still too loud? I kind of pulled it away from my face. Got a little too close to it. All right, now we're going to go on to the purple. Again, like I said, you can use any brand of paint or you want on this. I just like the Minotaur because it is so thin on this step. There we go. All right, so we'll let this sit over here. I'll come back to this. You'll notice with the transparentness of how thin the paint is, you still see the copper underneath, which is what I want. It's the effect I'm going for. Simple as that. Go over here to these dudes. Just dust it. Just barely dusting it. That's all it takes. There's the look we're going for there. Now, theoretically, you can stop there. I mean, this is, you know, futuristic sci-fi, yada, yada, yada. You can do the heat transfer any combination that you want to. You can stop it there and it look just fine, in my opinion. I mean, the copper to the purple looks fine. But my opinion is that the blue kind of seals it, makes it look really good. It accents the hottest point being the tip. Yeah, I hear you on that, man. I'll probably end up picking up one of these kits myself. I will more than likely buy one of these kits from Shapeways as well because I really do like this kit. It's awesome. Purple. There we go. Now onto the blue. This is pretty much the final step, a 3-step process of doing my heat transfer, how I do it. A lot of people ask me how I do that. How do you get that effect? Well, there he is. Now, at this point, you don't really want to aim directly at the piece that you're wanting to hit blue. You want to aim, let's just say, I'm going to use my finger as a guide, okay? I'm going to aim the airbrush to hit my finger and let the overspray be what gets on the tip. See that? Super subtle. You let the overspray do the work. I encourage you guys to go out and try this too. It's really not that hard. I don't think it's that hard, and I think it's very effective. And if your trigger control gets a little too wonky, just remember this is heat. Most times when heat transfers and stuff gets super heated, it doesn't always discolor the same. Like if you looked at like an exhaust pipe on a motorcycle, the discoloration on it, it's not uniform. It's different, So it doesn't have to be spot on both sides. It can be a little wonky and have some discrepancies from each side. I realized I was airbrushing out of camera after I already sprayed some. Well, that's pretty much how I do it right there. You guys can see that pretty well, but that's how I do heat transfer. You seen how quick it was? It was rather fast. It was not too many steps, just overlaying colors, gradually stepping towards the end. Clean the airbrush out right now. I mean, this dude is super close. I mean, theoretically after tonight I should be starting. Oh, I got some more. Just realized I got some more hoses to paint. That ain't shit. Theoretically tomorrow I should be able to start with the base. Good. Bring this back out. Open the shot up a little bit. Peel this off. But as you can see, it's just really subtle. Transfer is really subtle. That's what I like my heat transfer is like. Alright, so next, because the next process is so involved, we'll move some things out of the way. I don't want any overspray on anything over there. Move the fan real quick. Increase my airflow because as many clears are no joke. Shouldn't kill a camel. Fill a room full of it. Alright, now I'm going to do my highlight. Now again, this process is the same color process that I do 1,000 Suns. Same process I do 1,000 Suns. I start out with a gold base, and I work my way up. Now, whenever I do the clear, the red clear, I actually have to take it one step further and highlight the gold areas, bring it up with a super bright silver, thin bright silver, thin coat, I should say. So I use Model Air aluminum, which I think that's about the brightest aluminum or the brightest silver I've been finding. There might be some out there that's a little brighter, but hell, this works just fine. To that point now, I need to get damn close. A little bit of color on my hand, I don't mind, but when I start laying down that red clear, it's game over. Oh, no. That stuff's terrible. Okay. Right. Now, I've already highlighted and brought this area up. Three different colors. So here is my fourth, and it's going to be the thin coat of the silver. And that's why I'll hit the brakes on that. You don't need 100% coverage. Just thin coats, man. That's all you need. And it is ready for the first of many, many color layers. No, this is, Robert, this is the Knight that I'm giving away. This is the Custodes Knight with the shapeways 3D printed panels. Sunday, I mean, I can go ahead and with confidence and say that this dude should be done Saturday. I'm going to do the base tomorrow. I should be able to do a lot of it tonight, do the base tomorrow, and then button up any and every little bit of detail that I find that I need to add to it on Saturday and be ready to give it away on Sunday. So stay tuned. I've been going live, I think every night this week. I've been going live working on this dude. Last night's feed I cut a little short. That's because I was backing up against TFL, and I didn't want to pull any viewers away from their live feed because they're my homeboys. I actually ended up going on there and joining in on the cast last night and doing a little painting in. Just getting the last of the silver out. If you those kind of curious about airbrushing, how I've developed a little thing to do this right here. Keep from clogs. It helps keep the tip free and clear of any obstructions. Anybody's wanting to know what in the hell I'm doing, but that's pretty much what that's for. All right, so I've already got this thinned. I keep it thinned down because you notice when it gets dry, it gets stringy. You do not want that coming out of your airbrush. So again, I mean, I've put thinner in it before, but every time I pop the top and do some airbrushing, I'll just drop a little bit in there. Not much. And break out the old pipette. Start putting her in the hopper, letting her rip. All right, so like I've said many times before, whenever I do any Tamiya clears, whether I'm doing Alpha Legion, whether I'm doing this, or I'm doing the Iron Hands theme, because there's a Forge World recipe for the Iron Hands that's pretty involved as well. But you use multiple thin coats. Don't be in a hurry. Just let it sit. Let it flash. It ain't going to be 100%. Just let it flash. You don't want this stuff to puddle. Puddling with the clears is no good. Because it runs into there and it creates a deep, dark shadow up against like trim or anything like that. You just don't want that. You don't want that in your life. Let it dry. Move any and all pieces away from downwind of this stuff. Now, usually I'll have respirator on and fans going haywire, but it's not too terribly bad. I've got a pretty good sized fan going on me right now. I am on YouTube, Robert. You can check me out. Black Label Painting on YouTube. I've just started uploading these videos to YouTube, so if you've missed any of the other ones that I've done, you can catch them on YouTube. And my Patreons, I'm linking them to the Patreon as well, so you guys can view them from the Patreon page. It's boring. Last go around, it was boring. It's like, oh, he's painting red for 875 coats. It's not that many. I think it usually takes me about 10 plus coats, 10 super thin plus coats. Yeah, 10 plus coats is usually what it's going to take to build up the red. Robert, the greatest thing I figured out with an airbrush is don't be afraid to try. Just if you've got some old models to practice with, or even if you've got some spoons, like some plastic spoons, you can practice laying down colors on the actual spoon end of it. You can't do it. It's a little hard to do much detail on an airbrush, but you get on the spoon, but you get a feel for laying down colors. I'd rather freak out a spoon that I can just toss in the trash than freak out a model that I'll have to strip. Yeah, I'm going to be super duper excited to give this bad boy away. I can't wait. I'm hoping that whoever wins it will do like a review on it once they get it delivered. Once they get it in the mail and then they've actually had a chance to open it up and look at it, they would just look at it and do a review on it and say, you know, this, and this, you know, here's pictures of this, and this. I mean, of course, I'm going to try to present it as best as possible on my end whenever I take pictures of the finished product. But doing a review from someone, or getting a review from someone who, you know, seeing it firsthand in person would be a little cooler for me. It's not a requirement if you win. Whoever it is that wins. Not a requirement. Don't feel obligated to do that. It's just, it'd be cool. Sheesh. Almost out. My first hopper full of paint. Starting to slowly build up. Like I said, this is the boring part, building this color up. And this is where you can't not get impatient. Your impatience will cost you in the long run. What's up there, man? What's going on, Chris? Don't judge me. It makes my hand look bigger. Yeah, I gotta be patient. See, if you don't watch it with these Tamiya clears, you can just see it's like going through the beginning stages of wanting to puddle. Yeah, reverse MJ. It's where it's starting to want to puddle. If you get to that point, stop, let it chill, leave it alone. Don't mess with it. Pick up your glass of tea. Out of my grandbrother's powder coating Yeti cup here. You guys want powder coated cups or anything like that, hit him up. Josh Del Rosa, Victoria, Texas. He can hook you up. Let's give that a second. Well, alternatively, you can sit here with a hairdryer and do this as well. But at most, I'll sit here and use the airbrush to blow on a little bit. Yes, sir. Patience is a virtue. When it comes to this effect, you cannot get in a hurry. When I first started spraying the Alpha Legion paint scheme, I had to strip so many models because I just got in a hurry and just made a mess. So anytime you use these clears from Tamiya, you got to learn to be patient. In the end, the effect pays off. Like I said before, this color is what I'm doing. It's essentially like how you would paint candy apple red on a car. Candy apple red on a car uses 7 different colors. I'm only spraying a handful of colors. I can't speak. But basically, you use golds, you use silvers, and then you lay down the candy. And the golds and the silvers, they come through the candy. They look amazing. Doo-doo-doo. Pretty much all I'm left with, once I get done with this missile rack, is I got the multi-melta here to go. What do you mean? How do you subscribe? You should be able either on YouTube. I also have Twitch. Look me up on Twitch. It's Black Label Painting at Twitch. You can click on there. I will be doing more Twitches. Just right now, I'm using the Facebook Live format because it's so much easier, and it seems to do better for me right now. The better I get at surfing around OBS and all that other jazz, I'll do more and more Twitches. But you can subscribe to me on Twitch. You can subscribe to me on YouTube. And if anyone that is interested, again, I'm shameless plugging here like I have been doing. You can become a Patreon. I do have a Patreon. That's Black Label Painting at Patreon. You can subscribe for only $1. And I'll upload all of my content. If I'm recording, it's going to go through Patreon as well. That way, all my Patreon supporters have access to all my videos, all my content. Once my Patreon grows a little bit more, I'm just starting out. Once it gets a little more subs on there, I do plan on doing some Patreon-only type videos, maybe some how-tos and such. And then once it grows, I'll start doing giveaways and stuff like that. But Patreon's a nice little avenue that I have not been exploring. I'm just now starting to get in on that. Starting to build up now. It's kind of hard to tell through the camera, but with this recipe of the golds, all three golds with the silver. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying. All you have to do is simply like and share the page, and then Sunday, I would also ask that everyone likes and shares the video that's going to go up. It'll be posted on the Black Label Painting page. If you like and share that as well, that'll automatically enter you into the drawing. And what we do is we got a spreadsheet, and we're putting everyone's name on the spreadsheet, and then I have a random number generator. I'll do a live feed, and I will live feed broadcast me basically pushing the button, and it'll pull up a random number, and I will consult the spreadsheet, and that will be my lucky winner. You win the night free of charge, no cost. The only thing we're going to ask is that you cover the cost of the shipping. That's it. You will have gotten. I will have spent roughly, goodness, say I'm about 15, 16 hours in. I'd say I'm about 15 hours in on this model, from opening the box, cleaning and building and all that jazz. Yeah, like and share the Black Label Painting page, Robert. That's as simple as that. All right, here we go. That's it. Do it now. Do it slowly. Maybe you can see it's starting to build up now. I mean, I didn't keep track of coats, but it's several thin coats. It's just now starting to really get some depth to it. And like I said, this is how I do my Custodes red and my Thousand Suns red. I can't wait to get 1,000. I got 1,000 Suns commission in the works. I cannot wait to start on that bad boy. It's looking like it's going to be a Adepticon commission, which is if anyone is interested. I only try to do 2 armies outside of my own personal armies for Adepticon. So 1 slot I'm talking to somebody about now, but I'll have an open slot. Right now I've got 2. Yeah, Robert, that's it. It's as simple as that. Just like and share the page. This is the second night I will have given away, but the first night I will be giving away with the help of Shapeways, because without Shapeways giving me these panels, I wouldn't have been able to give away the Custodes Knight. It would have just been a regular Knight. My first giveaway was a Knight Lancer. I'm going to be doing a video kind of like this on that one. I'm just waiting on that gentleman to finalize what night house he wants. It's starting to build up nicely now. Okay, you can see at certain angles it'll go from an orange to a deep red. It just looks, in person it looks amazing. I think it does. The Grey Knight's night. Which one is that? Oh, okay. You're talking about a Grey Knight's theme night, Robert? Or one of those Dread Knights, or whatever they're called. I don't really do a whole lot of 40K commissions. Primarily, I just do heresy stuff, but I don't exclude 40K stuff. So, I mean, if someone wants me to do 40K stuff, I can. It's not a big deal. But I primarily like to work on heresy era stuff, only because I really enjoy painting heresy stuff. How are Grey Knights in 8th edition? They used to be beat face in 7th. Or no, it was 6th. I remember playing 40K in 6th and some in 7th. They were horrendous last time I played them. All the damn psychic dice. It's starting to really work up now. I don't know if you can see it very well, but because I started with a 10-bit, or a Warplock bronze base, and then I built it up through 3 different colors of gold, and then I hit it with the silver. So you can see the stages as you get towards the edge of the panels, but it's ever so slightly. I love those slight details. Stuff you have to be actually looking for to see. I think we'll call the missile pod right there. Just let it chill. So we have covered in this video. I'm not done. I'm just make that loud and clear. We have covered in this video, within the 48 minutes that I have been recording, we recorded how I do heat transfer, which is right here. Ding, 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 ding. How I do heat transfer, and how I do the candies, or Tamiya clears. Those are the good, interesting things. Now on to the boring shit. Pen washing. Dude, Christopher, I hear you 100% on that. I paint 7 days a week. You know, after work, I come home, you know, hug the kids, love the kids, hang out with them for a little bit, do things with them. The old lady needs me, I'll hang out with her, do things with her. But I pretty much primarily am in here painting 7 days a week. I haven't played a game since the event that I held with a buddy of mine back in, when was it? Back in July. That's the last time I played a game. I got 8,000 points of Mechanicum sitting here with me. Actually, it's more than that now. I haven't touched in a while. I have a Custodes army that's going to be delivered any day now. I got to play. Gotta get in some gaming. It's driving me nuts. But I like painting, so it's all good. So this is the boring part. This is the pen washing. Well, hey, you know what? Painting it yourself is not a bad thing, man. I mean, you're hearing that from a commission painter. I don't mind seeing people paint their own armies. I think it's great. It's if you could do it, you have the time, you should totally do it. A lot of my clients, they just don't have time to paint, or this. I hate saying it because I definitely don't like to sound like a pompous ass. They don't have the skill, and that's to no fault of their own. It's just they don't have the time to develop the skill because they're so busy with other things. And that is where commission painting has gotten so it's like quote unquote expensive, is because you're paying for someone's time to sit there and paint all this stuff. I mean, you probably already know if you're painting your own stuff, it takes time to knock it all out. That's why commission painting can be expensive. I've been painting since that was before 97. I think I painted my first model as an Empire unit because I was a big fantasy player back in 94, 95. Yeah. So I've been painting ever since about 94. I haven't been airbrushing that long. I've only been airbrushing about 5 years, going on about 5 years now. Just relatively not a whole lot of time. I mean, that's not a long period of time to be airbrushing. Well, you got to tell me what did they come out looking like there, Robert? Kind of describe it if you can. You got my interest peaked now. This model here has actually been a joy to paint. I really do not mind painting this dude. I like painting metallics. Kind of gotten a thing here for metallics here lately. Hence the reason why I jumped all over this when the offer was put on my table. Let me scoot this in a little bit. I keep pulling myself out of frame there. I don't want to not share the joys of pen washing with you guys. Fun, fun, fun. Mr. Hanky from South Park. Come on, bro. You can't be looking that bad. Righty-ho. You know what? But you be proud of that piece of shit, Mr. Hanky. Call out you refer to your Grey Knights as Mr. Hanky. You be proud of them damn things. You know why? Because you painted them. It's just like everything in life. If you ain't making mistakes, you ain't learning. So learn from what you have dubbed as Mr. Hanky and make him so much a little better. I could. I mean, I don't see a problem with that. I don't know how active I would be, Christopher. I'm not sure how. I'll look into that, Christopher. How about that? I'll just say I'll look into that. Ah, my man with the plan has joined in. Welcome on, Mr. Montalongo. You are the man with the plan. For those of you who do not know who he is, you need to educate yourself in some podcasting with the 30K flavor. Him and my other homies, Mr. Ryan Kimmel. Oh gosh. They are part of a podcast, Radio Free Estevan. You should listen to them. Listen to them on your way to work. Listen to them in the shower. Listen to them while you're tossing off. Great guys. They got a lot of funny banters, and that's awesome. I like the banner. People are bitching, complaining about the banner, but hey, you can't talk about 30K for 3 hours or 2 hours or an hour and a half, 100% solid nonstop, because it gets very boring. Talking about the same shit over and over. So give them a listen, give them a like. They also have a Patreon, man. They'll help them out as well, man. They put out a lot of content, man. And they turn around and use that money for giveaways and such. It's awesome, man. They really do help grow the 30K community. Great bunch of guys. Ryan, Scott, Michael. Sorry, I'm trying to pay attention to my pen washing here. It's a giant pain in the ass doing that, but it does makes the panels pop. Sometimes you have to go over the same spot more than once, but that's just the name of the game. Now, pen wash all the rivets. Why? Because I want the guy who wins this free Custodes Knight to really like it. I want to be able to say, hey, I painted that thing to the best of my ability, and I gave it to some guy, and he's going to enjoy the fuck out of it. Guy or gal. Not sexist. Assuming anyone's gender. Fucking dumb. Rivets, rivets, rivets. Lots of rivets. Whew. There. Starting to take shape now. Starting to come up with the look I wanted with this dude. Got the heat transfer on the stacks. Got the heat transfer on the barrels. Got a missile pod painted. We're rolling in the hour mark right now, and I feel accomplished. I'm not done yet, so I'm not wrapping it up just yet. But I definitely feel accomplished. We're making some great headway, I think. So, definitely feel more and more confident about saying this bad boy will be going to its new owner Sunday. Because as soon as the winner is announced, I'll contact the winner, let them know, hey, you won. They'll have 3 days to reply to me, and I won't be that guy. We'll 100%. If you win, you win. So once they get back to me, we'll take care of the shipping part. I'll pack it up, which I really go above and beyond when it comes to packing models. I work in the shipping industry, so I know how important it is to go the extra step to protect stuff. So it'll be there hopefully with zero breakage. Shouldn't be any breakage, honestly. It's plastic. They'll get it, they'll open it, and then I hope they will do me a review. No obligation. You don't have to. Don't worry if you win it. You ain't got to. Just something I'm hoping happens. All right, so I'm going to also go ahead and do this, dude. I'll roll through with the colors, this is good because I intentionally left some of the pieces not completely painted. That way I could recap through all my videos the processes of how I do the color schemes. So this is a much smaller piece, so I'll bring the view in a little better. But it's still a great example of how I do my metallics. So this is going to be the Meltagun that mounts right there. So I'm going to get it up, build it up from the metallic base. Once it dries, I'll heat transfer that. So we'll have I'll roll through another bit of heat transfer as well once I get the metallics brought up. Okay, so start to finish, let's start out with War Block Bronze over a black primer. Doesn't have to be 100% coverage. It's A-okay. Next, I come in with a plate mail. I'm using currently a plate mail from Army Painter. I mean, I use several Army Painter colors, but the plate and the metallics, they work just good. It's very comparable to the GW stuff, and it's thick, kind of thick. Nothing you can spray directly through an airbrush, which I don't mind buying paints that are thick, like the P3s. Is basically all you're doing when you buy paints like that is you're buying them in concentrate. So you thin them down and spray them through an airbrush. You've got double the color, if not triple the color, depending on how you thin it. So you can buy these thick paints, thin them down, and then end up having 3 pots worth. All right. Now that I got that cleared out, come back over and check that out. Look at that. See the orange? See how it flips to orange, and then the deep red? That's the gold coming through the candy. Well, clear, as Tamia calls it. Alright, so only going to need a drop, maybe two. Don't need much, that's for sure. One drop of flow improver. Boom. Mix it, spray it. Be careful because, I got another doubt. So that was a simple 3-to-1 mix right there. All right, let's just get this. Now, I will play a lot in the angles. So I'll come down at a 45-degree angle, spraying my silver. Now, again, this process is the same no matter if I'm painting this, or if I'm painting a whole knight, if I'm painting a tank. Don't matter. Same recipe. You can see the work block bronze coming through in the cracks. That's what I want. The look I'm going for. Now I will highlight with this aluminum. So, 3-step process. Over a black primer, I'll do work block bronze. I'll do a plate mail or a comparable brand name, whatever. And then I will hit it with a bright aluminum, again at a 45-degree angle. That's just to give me the highlights. There you are. Looking at it from the side, you can see the bright, you can see the plate mail, finished off on the bottom. I didn't even come across the bottom, because that's where I get my shadows. That is how I do all of my metallics when I do a silver base. If I'm spraying something silver, that's the recipe I use. And I just shared it with all of you. So now we will go back into the heat transfer process for the end of that melted gun. Once I clean this airbrush. Alright. Pulled back out. That's all nice and dry. When you're spraying thin coats, it doesn't take long to dry. So, back to this process. Back to the heat transfer process. Copper, purple, blue. That's all you need. ShamWow. There is my copper coin over it. Again, the great thing that most people bitch about using Minotaur paints is it's so thin. Well, took it to what most people consider a weakness, used it to its strengths because it works perfectly going over metallic for this recipe. All right, now on to the purple. I'll just roll it as I'm letting the overspray come across it. I'll let that dry for a second because it did go on a little thin. So I think what I'm going to do for the basing on this bad boy is, Custodes, they're on terror, they're guarding the Emperor. So when I think Emperor, I think terror, I think the Emperor's Palace, I think marble. So I believe I'm going to do a marble base for this guy. I've been thinking about it for the last couple days. So I think I'll go ahead and pull the trigger and do this base for this knight, marble. So, that being said, we'll learn how to do marble. Tune in tomorrow. So I'll be working on marble. So working with a marble basing, it's not going to have a whole lot of weathering. So there's not going to be very much weathering involved on this because you think Custodes, Custodes, they're clean, they're crisp. They don't, they're ultramarines to the 10th power when it comes to cleaning, keeping the shit clean. So it's not really going to weather much at all, if any. I don't know, I guess that would be cool to do like a damaged marble tile floor. So I can add in just a hint of weathering. That might be the trick, huh? Either way it goes, I'll be painting marble tomorrow. Just so you know. Rain, sun, or shine, I'll be painting marble. There we are. Just a hint of blue. You can see the purple, see the copper as it transitions. Put that in the bottle, you got something sweeter than you. Charlie heard that since Kingpin. So it's getting closer, guys. Getting closer. Don't fall. Don't fall. Oh, I did this off camera. I worked on the helm a little bit. Now the lens, I did the lens with Tamiya clear as well. So I got Tamiya green clear. I took this super bright aluminum, painted inside the eye with the super bright aluminum, and then 3 or 4, maybe 5 coats, again thin coats of the Tamiya green, and built it up. So when you look at a color wheel right here, most people say, red and green, oh, that's Christmas. That's Christmas. Well, you look right here on the color wheel, What's the complementary color to red? It's green. So I'm going to have a lot of red, a lot of bright red. It only makes sense to have that green, those eyes. It'll look awesome, I think. In the great words of the Josh Del Rosa, it's going to look tits. And if you haven't got one of these guys, you know, Chris actually, you know, I don't know if he's still on here, but Chris turned me on to, you know, he told me I have to have one of these. So these are a good investment. You know, when it comes to designing and figuring out colors and what works best and what color combinations work best, buy a color wheel. All day, every day, have a color wheel. Have it close by when you're painting. So, now, I'm like so close to finishing this thing, guys. It's not even funny. Yeah, it's flashed, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna let this stuff here, these when you're doing Tamiya clears, when I say patience is a virtue with this, it is. So once you get it done to like this point, I mean it's not 100% dry. It's dry to the touch, but it's so many thin coats. You run the risk of putting a fingerprint in if you touch it. So once you get this stuff done, like to this piece right here, I'm not going to touch it again until tomorrow. I'm going to set it aside, let it cure for 24 hours, and revisit it tomorrow. So when you plan out painting these things, you're going to have to account for that as well. It's like if you're doing Thousand Suns and you want to use this type of recipe, just know you're going to have to be patient when it comes to painting that army. Like the army that I'll be doing, hopefully in October, I'll be able to start on in October. It's Thousand Suns, and it's going to take a lot of time. I'm going to give myself probably 2 months to do that army, and it's not a lot of models. It's just you got to be patient. All right, so where am I at here? I think I need to go buy some plastic cards tomorrow so I can do that base, unless I got some in here. Let me check real fast, guys. If I got plastic card, I'll go ahead and start on the night base now. Rats. Oh well, yeah, tomorrow I'll make sure I go pick up some plastic card at Hobbytown. Get some plastic card, that way I can build that base. I'm not going to use a resin base. I was thinking about using a resin scrap base that I have from Secret Weapon Miniatures. I'm just going to go ahead and make my own. That way this night, this will be custom from top to bottom. I'll actually put in some good time on it. And I'm hoping that whoever gets it really will get to enjoy it. And piss off their buddies when they play against it. Because all that gold. Good old twin tape. Well, guys, come to that point, I guess. Rolling up on an hour and a half. Well, hour and 20. You know what? Actually, I can still spray some clear on this. I'll go ahead and roll some gloss varnish on these to bring these back up, just to put an extra coat of protection on them. I've already hit them with dull coat, which is what's brought them down, but that also was going to help me fade the decal away and make it look like it's been, hand painted on. So we will roll with that. We will clean the airbrush really good. You do not want any tint at all of any color in your matte varnish or any of your varnish that you're about to spray through. So be cognizant of that. Man, we're so close. All right. Something I use as well, guys, I keep in my arsenal and I use a lot. I know some of you guys have seen me use it. I like to keep handy and always keep with me. It's this dude right here. See, like an old ketchup bottle, you can get it at dollar store. Something for like a picnic or whatever. Just keep it full of water. I use it to help clean my airbrush out. Or you can fill it up with your favorite cleaning solution. 90% of my 90% of my work, I just clean the airbrush out with water. Well, damn bottle just dripped on this. Did not want that to happen. Really do appreciate everyone that has tuned in and who's continued to tune in all week long as I've been working on this bad boy. I hope that you'll continue to tune in, check out things as I work on it. All right. Went through 3 gloves already. I usually don't have this much waste when it comes to these gloves. But it is what it is. All right. I am using, this go around, I'm using MIG gloss varnish just because it's close to me. And I do like the MIG line of paints. I have picked up a vast majority of MIG's paints. I use them a lot. Okay, just like the Tamiya clears, you don't want to get in a hurry when spraying clear. Just like an automotive, you're painting a car, they don't get in a hurry when they're spraying clear. So you want thin coats and build up. Thin coats and build up. You want it to go on wet, but you don't want it to pool. Don't want it to puddle. Don't want it to run. Of course, I run through that. No pooling, no puddling. The coat's coming. There we are. It will hit the brakes right there. So we've got some good amount of progress made tonight. again, I thank everyone for joining in and checking it out as I hammer away on it. And you will continue to join in. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to, I guess, just build a custom base for it. I'm going to do marble, custom marble base for it. There we go. There I am, coming into you now. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for checking things out. And I hope the winner has been watching this all the way through. That would be freaking awesome. Again, check out Shapeways for this kit. You can pick it up. They have it now ready to go. It's a really nice, really good detailed kit to work with. I've had no issues with the kit at all. It's pretty much just prime it, wash it, prime it, paint it, roll with it. So, again, thank you to Shapeways. Thank you to RFI and TFL, Radio Free Estevan, and Forgotten Legion. Grimm Brothers Powder Coating. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. And thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Again, if anyone wants to join in and help support what I do on Patreon, you can just check it out. It's only $1. It's $1 per uploaded content. And you can max that out anywhere you want. You can just give $1. I'm not going to be upset with that. I'm thankful for anything that I get off of Patreon. Like I said, in the coming months, I will be doing Patreon exclusive videos. I'll be doing how-tos and such like that. I might even offer rewards up to private lessons, but we'll cover that on down the road. And I hope to see you guys again tomorrow. Because tomorrow I'm going to sit here, make a base right in front of your eyes. You can see how I do custom marble. I'll do a damaged marble tile. I'll do like the large, big, like Imperial. It's going to look awesome. And then we'll paint it and do it marble. And then finish this thing up and give it away Sunday. God, I hope the guy who wins this thing is watching. Guy or girl. So, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see y'all again tomorrow. So, I will see y'all on the flip side.